So tomorrow's the day that Donald Trump gets sentenced in his New York hush money case. A day that we've been waiting for a long time, because it is a win, because it's finally time for him to be accountable and not be above the law, as he has been able to do for 74 years of his life. But that's not what this video is about. This video is a quick little summation of how come Judge Aileen Cannon, all the way in Florida, who is the district judge assigned for the top secret documents Mar-a-Lago, Florida case, how is she possibly able to stop Special Prosecutor Jack Smith's release of the final report of the January 6th and the top secret document case to Attorney General Merrick Garland this past Tuesday, which was always then according to the timeline, was subsequently supposed to be released to Congress tomorrow. Like, how is she able to do that? And what's all of this? So if you want update quickly how that was possible, stay tuned to this video. In a nutshell, Judge Aileen got a report, last minute, 11th hour report from the co-conspirator in the Florida top secret documents case, Donald Trump's body man, Natoa, and D. Oliveira, who is in charge of security or property manager for Mar-a-Lago. What they essentially argued is that if Jack Smith releases his report this week, then they would be prejudiced, because right now they are in the process of appealing to the Court of Appeals. They're asking the Court of Appeals to agree with Judge Aileen Cannon that Jack Smith should be kicked off the case. She said he should be kicked off the case. She dismissed the case. That case is an appeal. So if you don't know, even though they decided as a matter of process and procedure to not prosecute a sitting president, and that is how Donald Trump got out of this, and I think that's why he ran, to get out of going to jail. They said as to the other two conspirators, the body man, who they say took pictures and he worked with Donald Trump to conceal these boxes for over a year, because they asked for it for a year. The National Archives and all the United States government have been asking Donald Trump for these documents for a year, and he's been putting them off. His property manager is alleged in early documents that's been released to the public or leaked or whatever, that he tried to hide. He ordered members of the Mar-a-Lago staff to erase footage. Now, here's the thing. Most people know, and most non-MAGA people are aware, that if you are swapping out boxes, erasing tapes, moving things around, when you know that the documents are come to be collected, then you know you're not supposed to have them. So for all the people who's like, oh, it's just it's a witch hunt. It's a witch hunt from someone. The evidence is the evidence. Anyway, so I digress. If you did have these legally, as Donald Trump alleged once, he said on Fox and Friends that he could telepathically just declassify documents, and that's what he had done. Not true, because there's no evidence of that whatsoever. There's no paper trail. There's no evidence. There's an actual process and procedure. If you declassify it before you take it off, to say these are declassified. Not true. Why, pray tell, then did your attorney within the same period say that, oh, he didn't know they were there? There's conflicts. Clearly, y'all know. If you're not MAGA, you know. So the co-conspirator said that if you release this, it's going to prejudice us, because if the Court of Appeals agree with us, they said that because you told Jack Smith it should be dismissed, we're asking the Court of Appeals to also dismiss this case from Jack Smith. And if they say yes, then it all goes away. So there's no need for the world and public to know what we did and see all these documents. And so she said, well, in the interest of fairness to them, we're going to actually suspend it. And there's the thing. She didn't differentiate just as to her case that she's adjudicated. She's a district court judge in Florida. She said to stop it as to both documents, the January 6th report and the Florida state. Isn't that rich? Now, this is the judge. She was a member of the Federal Society when she was in law school. She'd been asked by her cohorts, by federal members of the judiciary, by lots of folks, that she should recuse herself, because she'd made a bunch of questionable decisions that showed that she was going beyond the scope. She's being activist. Activists mean like she's going above and beyond to rule in favor of one side. Again, if you don't know, Donald Trump appointed her. So she's going above and beyond to rule in favor of the guy who put her in place. So in that, they ask her to recuse herself. She says no. So most likely what's going to happen is, because the Court of Appeals already denied her decision to allow Donald Trump to have a special master, the Court of Appeals said no. They already batted her down. They're going to bat it down.
Update. The Court of Appeals did say the documents can be released, so there you have it.
Again, so all this is just a delay tactic. At some point, we're going to get it. If not tomorrow, we're going to get it. We're going to find out what we already know, that Donald Trump is a crook, and he does crookedy things, and he shouldn't be president. We already knew that. It's just further evidence and further salt in our wounds and further reasons for us to be depressed. And I suffer from TDS. It's crazy, but it is. So I hope that's helpful for you. You have any other questions? Answer below, and we can discuss. Keep this up. Tomorrow's the day. Yay.